Greetings, friend. I will show you how to solve this puzzle, Pirouette by Shy, by placing marks in the grid. Click on the link below if you want to try this puzzle yourself. And with that, it's solving time. Okay, I see ones here and here, so we're going to put 2 ones in block 7 there. All right, what else can I do with the ones? Only 2 places for 1 here in block 2. I'll make that mark. And then I'll move on to the 2s. Only 2 spots for 2 here in block 2, so I'll make that mark. 2 coming down across. 2 spots for 2 here in block 4, so I'll make that. All right, let's move on to the 3s. Only 1 place for a 3 right here. See how it kind of cuts right across row 2 there. And so 3, 3, 2 spots for 3 right here. And 3, let's look for the 4s. I can actually solve for a 4 because you see here in columns 8 and 9, which leaves us with a 1 and an 8. But you see the 8 right there, so we can solve that for 1. We can solve that for an 8. Finish out block 3. Nice. All right, what else can we do with the 4s? 2 spots for 4 up here in block 4. And this is called Snyder notation, in case you haven't seen this before or new to the channel, which means there's only 2 places remaining for a candidate in the block. We'll mark it. So in case we solve one of these cells, we can immediately solve the other cell for that candidate, the 4. It's a quicker way of getting some solves down. So you notice how this 4 comes down, column 5 right here. Well, that leaves a 4 in these 2 spots, right? And it makes them now a pointing pair. So these 4s are a pointing pair, which means that they're limited here to block 8, which means that these 2 spots right here cannot be a 4. And so we already know that the 4 cannot be here because of the 4 in column row 9. So now we can mark these 2 spots as a 4. That's kind of nice. And anything else I can do with the 4s? Not at this time. Looking on the 5s. The 5s are limited here in like this center shoot here in row column 5, also block 8. And I'm looking, I don't see anything else I can do. Oh, 2 spots for 5 up here in block 1. We'll make that mark. 6s, only 1 6 here, and then okay, that's 6 there. Can't do anything else really with the 6s. Look at the 7s. I can solve for 7, block 1, because of these 7s, and then cut across the top. 2 spots for 7 in block 2, nice. And that's, oh, and now you see how the 7 cuts across right here. That's actually going to make a pointing pair of 7s coming straight up. So now the 7's coming up here, and the 7s can't be in this middle spot. So that spot right there can't be a 7 anymore. Nice. All right, 8s. Let's see, 2 8s here, 3 spots here. I won't mark those. 8, 8, 2 spots for an 8 in block 7. Anything else with the 8s? Nope. And then the 9s. I see a 9 here in column 3, row 3. So those 2 spots have got to be a 9, limited there. And then I can actually solve for a 9 because the 9s are, looks like rows 8, 9, columns 8, 9. Nice. Anything else 9-wise? 2 spots for a 9 there. I'll make that mark. And look back. Okay, and I'm kind of do a quick check in here to see if there's something else, you know, since we made a couple of these solves that we can do. And I don't see it. Anything in particular. So the 9s, I mean, they make a pretty interesting direction here. I think, oh, this is weird. All right, here, let me point this out here. Looking at the 9s. Well, where can a 9 be here in column 2? It can be there, it can't be here, it can be there. Okay. Where can a 9 be in column 5? It can be here, can't be there, and it can't be in any of these spots. So the 9s are limited to these 2 spots in columns 2 and 5. This is an X-Wing. All right, and I have made an X-Wing tutorial. I'll put a link to it right here. You can go check it out and figure out more about X-Wings. But what it basically means is since they're limited to these 2 spots, these are the base sets, we can eliminate 9s anywhere else across rows 1 and 6 because either 9's there and there or there and there. All right, so what does that mean? It means that this cell right here cannot be a 9. So what could it be? It could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can't be a 9. So it has, this cell right here has to be an 8. So let's undo the coloring. Let's get back down here. We can solve that for an 8. What it also means is a 9 can't be here. Well, because we already knew that. And then a 9 also cannot be right there. So that can't be a 9. And I'll just make a mark to show what that would be if it's not a 9. And okay, it could be a 1, 2, 3. It could be a 4. It can't be a 5. It could be a 6, 7, and it could be an 8. Just to know that I know it's not a 9. Well, nice. Well, we got the 8 right there. That's cool. Look up here. Because of that, solve that. It give us anything else. We're looking for 4, 5, 6, 9. 5. Oh, yeah. Looks like we can solve right here for 4. See how there's a 5, 6, 9 right there? And so now you have a 5, 6, 9 naked triple coming down here. So, well, first of all, let's take care of the rest of this 4. So that has to be a 4. Since that's not 4, this has to be a 4. And then this could be a 1. You see how we eliminate? We're eliminating that 1 right there. So we know that now the 1 has to be here. Thanks to standard notation, we eliminate that 8. That has to be your 8. See how all that works? And then we can go and see a 5 and a 6. And so we'll make that. This is a naked pair, 5 and 6, because the only 2 cans that can be there. But what's nice is now it restricts 5 and 6 from being in any of these other spots here in column 2, which means this has to be 3, 9. We'll mark that, and we'll mark this for 3, 9. Nice. Okay, yeah, made quite a bit of progress there. All right, with these 2 8s, 8 are one of those 2 spots there. We'll make that as a mark. Nice. I'm pretty sure that X-wing was intended logic. And maybe as you cross an X-wing, maybe it's like a pirouette. I'm thinking about ballerina. Very cool, Shy. I like how you put that in there because I didn't really see where else to go at that point. That was nice. Very nice. All right. So now I made those marks. I've made these marks with the 8s. I'm looking now for more restrictions. Let's focus here. And I know that has to be a 5 or a 6, which is interesting to me because this 5, 6 and this 5, 6, those are like the starts of a W wing situation. But it looks like we're not going to be able to make a W wing. And I won't get into it too much, just trust me. And this would be a 5, 6, 9. That'd be a 5, 6, 9. I'm not going to mark those just yet. Okay, let's look across row 9 here. So what are our restrictions here? We have a 1, 3, 4, 8, 9. We need a 2, 5, 6, 7. So right here, that could be 2, 5, 6, 7. This could be 5, 6, 7. This could be just 2, 5. So I'll mark that as a 2, 5. And let's look up. We have only 3 cells remaining here in column 8. And it's a 2, 3, 5. So I will mark those. I'm curious. 2, 3, 5. And 2, 3, 5. And now I'm looking. I feel like there's a lot of restriction coming into block 9 because there's a lot of cells filled out over here and here. So let's look at that. Look at column 9 here. We got a 1, 2, 3, 7. So 7 coming across. So we got a 1, 7 there. So that can only be a 2 or 3. All right. 1, 2, 3, 7. We got 2, 3 here. So that can only be a 1 or a 7. Okay. We got 2, 5 there. All right. What can be in this cell? 2, 5, 6, 7. I see a 2. So that's a 5, 6, 7. And then what can be in this cell? You know what? Actually, let's stop because, well, I'll fill it out and then I'll come back to it. 1, 5, 6, 7. 1, 5, 6, 7. Because I see something here, right? Maybe you see it too. This is a naked triple, right? 2, 3, and 5 are only those 3 spots in block 9. So that means 2, 3, and 5 can't be anywhere else in block 9. So we can get rid of the 5s right here. So let's undo that. Let's get back to here. And get rid of those 5s. And that creates now a 1, 6, 7 naked triple as well. But without the 5s there, now we know that the 5s are basically a pointing pair right here, right? The 5s are limited, these spots. So this is no longer a 5. And that's a key. That's key. And now the 6s are a pointing pair here. Okay. That's not it gives us a little bit because see how the 6s are limited to these 2 spots here in block 9, and they're limited to these 2 spots here in block 7. So that means a 6 has to be in row 7 here in block 8. So we know 6s are limited to one of these 3 spots. So keep that in mind. This is very common, but it's basically claiming candidates, as what we found right there. Nice. Nice. This is going to be really helpful for us. 1, 2, 3, 7. Let's finish up here. This is looks like 2, 3, 7, and 1, 2, 3. Okay. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. I'm curious, very curious, of what we can do with what we just found out here. And so I'm going to go back. Let's look at row 3. Row 3 has only got 3 cells. It can be, right? 1, 2, and 8. And so I think you see the 2 here and the 1 there. So that has to be an 8 right there. We can get rid of that 8 marking. Nice. 8, 8. Now the 8s are limited to these 2 spots there. And then this now has to be a 1, 2. Only those spots, but I see a 1 right there. So that's your 2 and that's your 1. And we get rid of that 1 marking right there. Nice. Okay. And so now 1, 1. We'll mark these 1s right there. Moving quite along here in Shy's puzzle. And this is kind of an older classic. I think this came out over 1.5 years ago. But I was looking through the server. It's like, I wanted to find maybe something that hadn't been out in a while. And these are still great puzzles. If you've never solved it, it's still a great puzzle. It doesn't have to be something that's been out, within the last month for you to appreciate it. And so I'm really, really enjoying this. Shy's puzzle has always been fascinating to me. All right, so we marked the 1s right there. Let's look here. 2, 7, 5, 5, 5. What are we limited to here? 3, 5, 6, 9, 3. Trying to see. 6s aren't really giving me much of anything right now for me to finish marking that. Okay. The 4s are limited to these 2 spots, so I will mark that. And the 4s limited to those 2 spots. Okay, that makes sense. 7s. Can't be here, which doesn't help. So I got to recage and find. I'm looking now for where's the greatest restriction. Let's look across column 3 now, right? We got a 1, 4, 7, 8, 9. So we're looking at 2, 3, 5, 6. You see the 5 and 6 right there. So this is going to be a 2, 3. Nice. And I will now mark the rest. 2, 3, 5, 6. You can see here 2, 3. So that has to be a 5, 6. And then 2, 5. So that has to be a 3, 6. Interesting. So now we have 3, 6, 3, 9, 5, 6. And what's remaining here? 3, 5, 6, 9. So it can't be a 3. So it has to be 5, 6, 9. Now we'll break down and actually make that mark. And I'll make this just to finish that naked triple. Okay. And then what are we looking at here? 5, 6, 9, and a 7. So 5 and a 9. So that's a 6, 7. And this also can't be a 5. So that's a 6, 7, 9. And nothing really there yet. Okay. So where else do we see some restriction, and where can we do some more solving? I just marked the 6s up here. Let's go on here. Remember how I said that because of these 6s here, that the 6s can't be in these 2 spots? So let's finish out. So we have a 2, 3, 4, 8, 9. This would have to be, or could be, and you got a 1 right there. So can't be a 1, and we know it can't be a 6. So that's limited to a 5 or a 7 right there, right? And this right here, this cell, 2, 5, 6, 7, can be a 2, but it can't be a 6. So 2, 5, and a 7. Okay. And how does that affect what we're looking at? 2, 5, 7, 2, 5, 5, 7. Oh, it's a nice little XY wing that has no eliminations. Okay. And so now I will look and see where else can we go. And I'm looking now. 9, 9. 9s. I'm looking. Let's kind of finish along this row here, right? So we got, this can't be a 1, 2, or 3. It could be a 4. It can't be a 5. It could be a 6. So that's going to be a 4 or a 6. Interesting, because it's 8, 9 right there. And this 1, 2, 3 can't be a 4. It can't be a 5. It could be a 6. Can't be a 7. Looks like it can be an 8 or a 9. And what kind of restriction does that give us? We got the 4s there. We got the 3s there. That doesn't really give us much yet. Okay. Now look at some individual candidates here, because I don't want to keep just filling out cells. That's not going to help me solve the rest of the puzzle that easily. I feel like the answers are kind of in front of me. You just got to find and make that connection that'll get us to the rest of the solve. So what is that connection? Oh, look at these cells right here, right? So what do we need? We have a 1, 3, 8, 9. We need 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so right there, 2, 4, 6, 2, 5, 6, 2, and 4. Oh, 2, 4, 4, 6. Okay, that's helpful. And when I say helpful, it's when you're finding a by value cell. That's always going to be helpful for us to figure out. We're probably going to be able to link it and make another type of elimination or use another type of advanced strategy. Alright, I think the answer might be here in block 6. I'm looking at this cell in particular, right? So what can this cell be right now? It can be a 1, it can't be a 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. It could be a 7, it can't be 8 or 9. Aha! So what do we have here? 1, 7, 1, 6, 7, 6, 7. That is another naked triple. So it means 1, 6, 7 can't be in any of the other spots right here. So this are limited to 2 cells, right? The remaining 2 cells have to be just 2 candidates. And those 2 candidates are, it looks like 5 and an 8. So I'll make that 5 or an 8. That's helpful. All right, and you see this is 1, 2, 3, 7. That's just a 5 or an 8. I feel like that should be good. That should be good for us. That should be helping us figure out where we can go with this puzzle. Okay, now let's look in here. I'm looking at this cell now in block 5, because I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 9. So that has to be a 6 or an 8. And guess what we have again? Another naked triple. Wow, Shai, you got a lot of naked triples in here, and we also have the X-wing. This is really cool stuff. And so what does that mean? So 5, 6, 8 is limited to these 3 spots. So this has to be 1, 2, or 3. Well, we're going to be able to solve. What cell are we going to be able to solve? This one right here. You can see how there's a 1 and 3 right there, and it can't be a 5, 6, 8 anymore. It has to be a 2. That has to be a 2. Alrighty. Let's solve that for a 2. And then this can be, we'll get rid of that, 2. So that's now 1, 3. And now what you'll notice, okay, we can do some more solve. Now you notice that the 2s are limited to these 2 spots here in block 6. So now this can no longer be a 2, which means you can solve that for 2 right there. Nice. And then 1, 3, this has to be a 1, 3. I will make that mark before I let it get away from me. Okay, so great. We solved some 2s. And that's huge. This is huge. Now the 2 there is going to allow us to solve this for 2. And I'll get rid of some of those marks. You see 5, 7, 5, 7, so that has to be your 6, that has to be your 4, because we were able to solve the 4. And you remember these 4 markings up here, so now that's going to be a 4. And we can get rid of that as a 4. Okay, I feel like I found where we need to go. And you see now 6, 8, and 6, 8. I'll point that out real quick. See how those, yep, compare. So this is now, that can't be a 6, so that's limited to 7, 9. All right. So we can get rid of the 6 there, and we can make that a 7, 9. And what does that do? 6, 7, 7, 9, 6, 8, 6, 8, 9. Nice. All right. And it's not losing momentum here. 1, 3 is a 5, 6, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This can't be a 7. It can't be an 8. That has to be your 9. Right there. And so we can get rid of this as a 9. And so this has to be your 9 now. 6, 8, 6, 8. That has to be your 7. And we solved that for 7. Here's your 7. Right there. Nice. 7, 7. Only one spot left for 7 in this block. And get rid of that 7. And you got 2, 3, 2, 3. That's a 1. And now you see how we just kind of work through this. 1. There's your 7. There's your 6. There's your 1. And we're going to clean up all these spots down here. 5, 7. And right here you got 6 and a 5. Sweet. And then we got our 2 right there. We got our 3. We got our 5 right there. I love it. I love it. Okay. I'm going to keep riding this train here. This is awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay. And now that can no longer be a 3. So here's your 3. And this is going to be your 1. That's going to be your 3 right there. See how that works? Again, that's not a 3 anymore. And so there's only one spot left for a 9 in block 4. We'll mark that as a 9. Get rid of this 9. 5, 6, 5, 6. That has to be the 3 right there. This has got to be your 9 here. Alrighty. 6, 8, 6, 8, 6, 8, 5, 8, 5, 6, 5. I just feel like I'm spinning around like a little pirouette as I mark all this and solve it. All right, 6, 8. That was a good one. Check out these other videos where I solve some of Shy's puzzles. Don't forget to buy me a coffee link. Thank you, Shy, for letting me feature your puzzle on my channel. You're an awesome setter. I love it. And thank you so much for watching.